Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Marriage, Marriage Mornings. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
Good morning. My name is Seth Studley and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. And today is day number 83 of the Marriage Morning Infinity Day Challenge. And today's topic is live listener questions. And Melanie, can you tell us who the show is brought to us by?
It is brought to us by the Ultimate Intimacy app. Visit ultimateintimacy.com to learn more about it. It is an app that is helping couples improve their sex lives, but it is created by a Christian couple, so there ain't nothing freaky on there.
Go to ultimateintimacy.com for more info.
Yes, and we invite you to do Marriage Mornings with us. We invite you to talk about the things we talk about, to do the prayer, past gratitude, future hope, and the goals. So please do that, and you can join us every single day on Instagram and Facebook. We do live video, and I don't know what else I'm going to say.
We do a pre and post show on Instagram Live if you want to check that out, and it's kind of boring, but it's
fun.
What we do every single morning. And we do 4 things. We pray, we share a past gratitude, we share a future hope, and also a future goal. What's up, man in the wild?
But before we do that, if you're new here, welcome. This is not the only format of show we have. We have, because you wouldn't stop. We have a lot of episodes about a lot of other things that are not this format. So I hate it when people have only listened to Marriage Morning and they go, this is boring. There's 100 other shows that are different. So go listen to those.
100 other shows that are like 50 minutes each. So there's a ton of content there.
So do Marriage Mornings with us. Let's start with prayer. I'm going to pray.
Go.
Dear Lord, thank you for all the blessings you've given us. Help us to just rock the socks off of this day because we can, because you let us, because it's awesome.
Socks gone.
In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Zero
Today
socks.
Is our first daughter's birthday too. Our only daughter, by the way, but it is her birthday. Happy 7th birthday, little sis. Okay. I am thankful that you put up her flyers. When our kids have birthdays, we kind of decorate the house in the morning so when they wake up, and I was looking for them and I couldn't find them, but you found them, and
the cactuses and llamas are really cute.
Yes, so thank you for that. That's
welcome.
Just another way that I appreciate you.
Thank you for taking care of yourself and exercising every single morning, and thank you that we wave at each other. I look at you in the gym, and then you look at me, and we wave.
Do you like that?
I love it, yeah.
Okay, good.
Sometimes I can't tell if you're looking at me. That's why I stare at you forever.
I stare at you, too, and I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I hope she doesn't, expect
I literally stare for a really long time, and I'm like, I guess he can't see me. And then I see you wave, and then I wave.
I'm always looking for you when you wake up.
That's cute.
I really am. Okay, let's see.
CJ,
what's
Paul,
up,
good
Paul?
morning. So...
Future hope.
Future hope. I hope that today goes well. I have so much to do today.
An S-ton?
Yes, but I have to actually, the first thing I have to do is one of our children stole something, and we have to go repair the damage that was done. So that's the first thing I've got to do after we're done.
Welcome to Anatomy of Parenting.
Anatomy of Family. But so I hope it goes well. My goal is to get work done, even though I've got a birthday party to do, but that's fine. I can do it.
Yep, later today. Yeah, I have a bunch of driving around again and seeing clients, and I'm behind on notes, so that's my hope to get stuff done and a goal too. So
perfect. So we wanted to answer listener questions live, so come up with questions as we are watching if you've got them. Wait, someone has one here. What does it say?
Kenan says, it's easy to go off how purity culture was negative. What would be the first steps to correct harm purity culture has done?
I would say, honestly, going back and listening, thank you for the question, going back and listening to anything Dr. Tina Schermer Sellers has done. She has a book called Sex, God, and the Conservative Church. She is a rock star when it comes to understanding sexuality, undoing the damage of purity culture. She actually was the one who, in her, because she's a professor at SPU, that's where we met her.
One of my teachers.
Seth was in her class, and she started seeing her students showing signs of sexual trauma, but they had not been abused. They had just been a part of Christian purity culture.
Right.
And we're not saying that purity culture had that it was supposed to be damaging. It wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be safe and healthy, but it ended up not being that. So I think the best place to start is just reading books from people like her, reading books from Emily Nagoski, I would say, Come As You Are, because it normalizes words that were so shaming at one point in our life.
It changes the paradigm that we have around sex, sexuality, our bodies, and especially in Christian culture, it's sex is gross, sex is terrible, save it for the person you love. Yeah. And that's something that Dr. Corey Allen says, which is hilarious, because oh yeah, sex, it's beautiful, it's a gift. It's oh yeah, but also it's gross. So only do that with it doesn't make sense, right? There's so many conflicting messages, and like I say all the time, we have a ton of stuff to unlearn, and that is one thing. I kind of grew up that way and thought, oh, premarital sex, oh, don't do this, but we did it anyway, and
don't tell people that. I'm just kidding. We already have.
Well, I mean, even with, there's sexual history there, right? And is it like just the worst thing in the world? Is it like just terrible? No, it's not. If you reframe it and normalize it and go, okay, it's kind of like, oh, I've been stealing or doing this terrible thing for years and years and years. Okay, I stopped. I'm not the worst person. I'm not crazy messed up. My life isn't ruined forever. Just start doing right.
I would say one of the biggest things to think about, is just how our brains work. So we create pathways. And actually, Melissa was the person I got this idea from. She talked about creating a path in the woods. Don't read the comments. You got to focus. Creating a path through woods. Like you move the sticks out of the way, you walk on the same trail forever and ever and ever, and then eventually the grass stops growing. It's like a neural pathway. Our brains do the same exact thing. They take the path of least resistance to create something that is easy to walk down. So in purity culture, unfortunately, that is shame.
Right.
We've created a pathway of shame. The only way we can undo that is by getting used to words that are sexual in nature that aren't necessarily shameful. So
That's
books like Tina's book,
Brene Brown's work. I know some of our friends listening are reading Brene Brown. I read some Brene Brown a long time ago, and her work around shame and that whole stupid shame narrative and how it affects our own self-worth, and then how that affects our identity.
Okay, I want to answer some questions. So someone said I was beautiful and wise. I can dig it. Thank you. But my shirt is from the Belief Agency in Seattle. I think we stole it. Or like, oh no, you got it from Matt or something. It's a studio that our friends have, and it's amazing.
So Josh says, I feel like my daily life is unlearning, relearning. Yes, 100%. Because Tony Robbins says, if you're not growing, you're dying. I know Melanie disagrees with that.
Well,
I think it's 100% true. If you're not growing, you're dying. So if you're not unlearning crap that we've learned and then making the effort to relearn through books, through podcasts, through self-reflection, through meditation, then that is a good thing. So never stop learning. I don't think that it ever ends unless you just decide and then just kind of like, bleh. So, okay. Are you guys spending any effort trying to talk to your family about this stuff? Meaning, I feel like you've struck gold with this stuff, and I want to tell my parents, brother, sister, I started doing this, and I feel like it's backfiring.
Do you mean like personal growth? Is that what you mean, Paul?
Or do you mean growth or
just this show?
Purity culture or something?
Yeah, because here's part of the problem. Yes, I agree with that as a concept. When you start to change, it makes everyone around you uncomfortable. It immediately makes them go, wait, you're saying that what I'm doing is wrong? And so the way that I've had to do it is I've always had to do this caveat of like, I'm really thankful that, I grew up in a safe home, but I want to travel. But if I were to say it the other way around, like, why aren't you traveling? Like, it's so amazing. You need to like what I like. You need to care about what I care about. It's a huge, it makes people really defensive. And that's been like a lot of my life after I became a Christian. Almost everything that I wanted to do changed, and it like really rubbed people the wrong way. So I had to do a lot of like, oh, sorry, I don't mean like you're whatever, but so it's like caveats of like, I want to show you this thing I'm learning. Look at what it's doing in my life, but your life is awesome too. Like, and it's hard, but it is really hard.
Drinking from a fire hose, that doesn't really work. So how are you sharing that? So, I want to get to this one other question. How are you sharing it? It's for you, right? It's like, although I think this is great and everybody should work out and have a growth mindset, everybody's not going to think like that. So we can talk more about that, Paul. Okay, Man in the Wild says...
When you're going through a hard time in your marriage, do you share it with family and friends, or do you keep it to yourself? I find that I share things with people, I fear that they will make a judgment.
Yes. When we were going through our crap, I talked to my mom and told her everything. Melanie did too, and they were fairly supportive, and I kind of wrapped myself around friends as well. I need to do that more just because it feels good to talk about stuff, even when we're not going through crap. So,
it's important. Okay, I'm making a call right now. We're not posting to IGTV. It's going to be longer than 10 minutes.
Too hard.
Ain't no big deal.
Maybe next time we will.
This is too fun, and we're not going to stop. So, I would say I did talk to my family about it. I talked to my mom. I talked to my sister, and I talked to. No, it doesn't need to be 10 minutes. We're not posting on IGTV.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. We're going to go longer because this is fun.
Okay.
And so, one of the things that was really important in sharing is you have to find the right people to share with. You have to find people who have your back. So, and do this sort of the thing I talked about with Paul, like that caveat thing of like, I could say to my mom, I'm really frustrated at something that Seth did, but then I would have to, because I know that maybe she would have a propensity to be like, yeah, he's a jerk. Not that she would, but she might. But I would have to almost talk to my own self and then say that to her to make her know that I still want to be in the relationship. Does that make sense? So like, I would say, I'm really so irritated Seth did this thing, but I know he loves me. I know it's hard. I know we'll get through this.
Right.
No big deal. And then that gave her the freedom to talk back to me in that way.
So
Does that make
will
sense?
temper, because like in family stuff and being a family therapist, like I can go talk to my mom about a complaint that I have, and who's my mom going to side with? Me, obviously. And usually family does that. So then I don't want just my mom to rip into Melanie and be like, oh, well, this and this and this, blah, blah. I'm like, no. So you have to really temper it with,
but I love her,
but
and
I love her,
I trust,
and she's awesome. Let me just get some wisdom from you, mom or dad.
Actually,
or
you know
whoever.
what? It's like yesterday's topic. It's like show the people that you're sharing with that you believe the best about your partner, right? Let them know. I actually don't think Seth is a big jerk who's trying to like ruin my life. I actually think he had good intentions, but it just didn't do right or whatever that.
Okay, Brad says my family got mad for the healthy changes I was making. So yeah, it's like, okay, just say if I'm eating like crap for 10 years and stuff, and I go, I can't do this anymore for myself, that's going to change the whole landscape. But who are you doing it for, Brad? You're doing it for you.
Yeah, like, that's a really hard one.
It is absolutely hard.
Yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk, although he's like media and stuff, and he cusses a lot, which I love and is hilarious, he like has it right on. He's like, we have to stop being scared and live our life. And we're not saying F you to everybody. I'm doing this, burning bridges and everything.
Yeah. No.
I'm deciding for this. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. But this is what I got to do. And that's called differentiation. Go back and look at some of
Another really good author is Kyle Cease. I'm reading his book. I hope I screw this up. It's amazing. And it talks about that exact thing. So I want to read this one. What's the number one thing that you want to teach your kids about sex to help them have healthy sexual relationships when they grow up? Okay. This is really challenging because we did not have that in our homes growing up. But like even last night, our kids were eating dinner. So we bought them Amazing You, the book by Dr. Gail Saltz about your body. That was our first step.
If you haven't listened to that episode, go back.
Yeah, we interviewed her. She's awesome. And so basically the very first step of what we want to teach them, the number one thing is that their bodies are not shameful. The things they think what their bodies are, they're not bad or shameful. And even last night, it was so frustrating. Hattie made some weird joke and pointed basically like to her butt and was like, this is inappropriate. And I was like, well, no, like your body is not inappropriate.
Right.
Putting it like in someone's face or like being weird about it all the time would be inappropriate. But it's very hard. But I think the biggest thing is that we don't want to shame the things that their bodies are feeling and the kind of the things that they're thinking. We want to walk them through those things and guide them. And there's tons of resources, and we want to make a resource for that too. Yeah. What was the other question?
So we have to unlearn a lot of the narrative that we learned about, bodies are shameful, you don't do this, don't do that. We want to teach our kids that God made our bodies. Why are they bad? It's society and culture that turns them bad,
Yeah.
And then there's all kinds of internal shame.
There's just so much fear that's driving why we think it's all bad. Hold on. Okay. So do you still record arguments for podcast episodes? I almost did the other night when we got into that big long conversation. But we didn't, I think, just because we've solved it. But we actually should. Yeah, we should.
We should.
Because now we fight so differently.
Yeah, we had a 2-hour conversation, a good one, like 2 nights ago. I think I wish that we recorded that because it was so rich.
It was different.
TJ says, what's the meaning behind tattoos on your guys' knuckles?
Oh, okay. Let's talk.
Ooh, tattoos?
I'll tell you.
Okay, so go ahead, Mo.
So I have it's probably backwards, and fast. Hold fast at the top. And that's actually a Bible verse. It's like 1 Thessalonians something. But it's examine everything and hold fast to that which is good. And it's just old-timey. It's in Master and Commander, my favorite movie like on the planet.
Right.
Except for Captain Marvel. Ooh, he's the captain theme. But so I love it, and it just helps me to remember like to examine everything, hold fast to that which is good. And it looks cool. On the bottom, it's really hard to see, but it says Lady Boss, and the O is a diamond, cause YOLO.
Okay, this says, wait a minute, Iswa, and it means people of the river in Catawba Indian language in South Carolina, and that's where my mom's parents are from, so that's representing that. Yes, and that's important to me. Okay, have one of you ever felt that your marriage was going well when the other thought it wasn't, and how did you deal with it?
Patience and listening.
All the time. Yeah. I think it's going way better than it is, and Melanie comes out of
Well,
the field,
it's just
and
the
I'm
way
like,
that, and part of it is like, I think for the most part, our marriage usually is going fairly well, but it will be my interpretation of like, I'll like collect the things that aren't going well and then dump them on him all at once. And so then he feels like, I thought everything was fine. And really, it kind of was, but my delivery made it terrible.
Yeah, okay, that's very true. Delivery is important. However, we've talked about it before, and Dr. Stephen Stosny talked about this. Women in the relationship, mostly, in I guess heterosexual marriages, can be the smoke alarm, right? And because I know that Melanie isn't nuts, she is in it to win it. She loves me. She loves her family. Her smoke alarms mean a lot. So I need to step back, drop my ego, and go, wait a minute. Okay, I thought everything was going great. You're just complaining, blah, blah, blah. That's absolutely not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is to take a step back, calm myself, and go, okay, where and what is the truth that she's bringing? It's not that I'm the worst husband, that I never do good, blah, 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 all this internalized stuff. It's, okay, how can I really take this information and go, oh man, it's like having, you know when your brake pads wear down and you hit the brakes and the little metal thing
Oh yeah, everyone knows that.
Okay, sorry, I'm a master mechanic. No, I'm just kidding. I can't change brakes though. And what was I saying? Oh, and it starts squeaking, right? So that means something is wrong. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm so stupid
I'll
for
throw
buying
this car away.
I'm so stupid for buying this car. Might as well just throw it away. What's the matter? Almost cussed again. Sorry. It means something is wrong. So I need to take a minute and look at it, listen to it, and take the time to fix it. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I think that's great.
I think
that's one. And I love that you answered that way. I'm slightly surprised because when I smoke alarm, you usually get really defensive and then say that I hate you. Because you're like, you don't like anything. But I do it wrong.
You said it
exactly
correctly 2 seconds ago. That usually you come at me and go and
take a fire hose and go fix it.
Right. TJ, which guest did you learn the most from while you were interviewing, and what did you learn?
Dr. Dan Siegel. Dr. Tina Schermer Sellers, Dr. Corey Allen. I mean, all the doctors. I think, though, Dan Siegel.
TJ and Melissa Scott.
Ooh. I think Dr. Dan Siegel was probably the most informative because he does interpersonal neurobiology. He talks about the wiring of our brains and the growth mindset. He talks about how we can use science to, like the understanding of science to improve our relationships. And so for me, that was one of the most sort of transformative, like...
I think you lean towards more of the, like, educational piece, like psychoeducation, and then the even biological education. I lean more towards some of the feeling and the motivational things, like the Ryan Mickler episode. And guys, if you haven't checked out Order of Man podcast, you really should. It's awesome, especially the one just recently.
It's very manly.
It's very manly. It's for men, so...
But it's great.
It's manly,
Ryan Mickler's great.
He gave some really good insight. We had Cody Jefferson on, which gave a lot of good insight as well. And I like hearing other couples' stories, like TJ and Melissa, like other couples that we've interviewed. We're going to interview Paul and Robin soon, which will be super cool.
That's going to be so
fun. I like normalizing and narrative stories that just share other people's marriages.
Before we close, we will end soon because we've got to end soon. But before we do that, we want to feature y'all's stories on our promotional stuff. So please send in videos of yourself, like kind of like a marriage morning, but don't do it vertically, do it horizontally.
Make sure the lighting is good and like 1 minute.
Yeah, just tell us like how the show has impacted your relationships and why you listen and why other people should listen, because we are wanting to get a bigger reach for people to do this with us. And it's hard because they don't care who we are if they don't know us, but what they care about is if our show actually helps people. And y'all are the people that hopefully we're helping. So if you can send in stuff, that would be awesome. What you looking at your watch?
Oh, TJ, this is an arrowhead with tomahawks. It's not like a family crest.
I know everybody.
Shield.
Seth has
everybody thinks it's.
Seth's mad about that tattoo. Don't bring it up.
Don't talk about it.
Anyway, so yeah, if you could send in your stuff, that would be awesome. We would appreciate it so much. Let's continue the conversation about doing AOM meetups, having actual like real live hangouts. And I really want to figure out how to make this a radio show where y'all could call in. That would be amazing.
Because I'm a therapist, I want to take like literally 20 minutes on every single question.
I know.
So I don't know if this...
But I want to hear people, I want to hear other people talk. I don't want to hear just us. I'm annoying myself.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you for joining us. for this extended marriage morning. We'll probably do this more now. I think it's way more fun.
If you guys like it, let us know. Share it on Facebook, on Instagram. Just tag other people. Share it in your stories. Please spread the word because we love doing this, and hopefully you guys like it too. And remember to check out the Ultimate Intimacy app for increased intimacy awesomeness, and go to ultimateintimacy.com for more information.
And please share the podcast and rate it and review it. I know you already said that, but I was spacing out, so I forgot. I know what I was going to say. Paul, we'll have to have an AOM meetup in Seattle when y'all come up.
Yes.
We can do AOM Seattle meetup, and then we'll do one in Florida because I want to go there.
Yeah. For real. In July 22nd, I think, is when the concert is. Paul, I don't remember.
27th and 28th.
Okay, yeah, around
my birthday is July 21st.
Ooh, that'd be awesome. So, yeah,
I like
Seattle
gold.
meetup. That'll be easier for us to do than a whole, like, AOM entire day, and it'll be chill. We'll have dinner. We'll do whatever.
It would be awesome. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Have an amazing day. You're going to do amazing things because you're amazing.
All right.
All
right, later.
Robin's birthday is July 28th. Oh, my gosh. Okay, double party. All right, see y'all later.
All right, see ya.
Bye.